that Insecure is finished. Hey guys, it's your girl Brandy, aka Brandy4. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. By the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, blah blah blah, whenever you watch this video. And let's just get into it. But first, please make sure you like this video real quick and subscribe to your girl Brandy4 for more content. I do pop culture content, reality show content, insecure content. I do whatever. So you can always comment down below whatever you'd like me to talk about. So let's get into it. Last night's episode of Insecure was the last episode of Insecure, and obviously I'm very emotional because once again, I said this in a video before, but Insecure is basically like one of the most iconic Black sitcoms that we have for this generation, or I would say just like in the 2020s or 2010s or whatnot. It's a pretty iconic show. We haven't had a show like this solid, honestly, since Girlfriends. Very refreshing to see a show that doesn't revolve around Black trauma, but rather Black people in their late 20s, mid 30s, and how they navigate their life post-college, whether it be within their career or within their love life. And that's why I absolutely love Insecure, because it gives you all perspectives, and plus it's just extremely relatable. Like, I can relate, even though I am only 24, I can see myself in Issa's shoes, I can see myself in Molly's shoes, even in Lawrence's shoes. Like, I can totally relate. That's why the show is just very iconic. Yeah, this finale was actually pretty good. Also a little disappointed because they kind of squeezed a lot into one episode when they could have definitely branched out more in previous episodes that were really kind of boring, to be honest. Episode 2 of season 5, where, you know, we see Lawrence and Condola, that was a pretty good episode because, you know, it was very juicy. A lot to discuss from that episode. Also, last week's episode when we see Lawrence declaring his love for Issa at the party and Nathan and Lawrence almost getting to a brawl. That was a good episode as well. But like, otherwise, all the other episodes were such filler episodes. Like, I did not care that much. I don't know, she could have dived deeper into most of the storylines. For instance, in this episode we see that Molly's mom passed away, and that was extremely unfortunate. It was just so sad because we saw it coming, but also we kind of thought that it was kind of brushed to the side now, because I don't know, I thought that everything was gonna be okay, but then when finding out that her mom passed, that was just really, really upsetting. It was so upsetting. But also, it would have been nice to see like how Torian was treating her while she was going through that. We were robbed of that, and I'm kind of upset about that, because it's just like we went from seeing that she's grieving her mom. We didn't even really see that she was grieving her mom, but we went from seeing that her mom passed to now she's getting married to Torian. But I am so happy that Molly is married. Really sad because Molly's mom, she was always bothering Molly to get married, or when are you gonna get married? I want some grandkids, blah blah blah. And then it's unfortunate she gets married right when her mom passes. That sucks. That was so unfortunate. But honestly, my favorite part of this episode was the heartfelt moment that Molly and Issa had in the bathroom. It was just so sad. I actually heard that it wasn't scripted, and Yvonne Morgi actually, that was like a heartfelt to Issa Rae. So it was just extremely sad, and we kind of see, this was basically a love story between Molly and Issa. We saw them go through everything with each other. They had each other's back regardless. I love the fact that they both continue to accept each other regardless of their faults, because Molly had a lot of faults, Issa had a lot of faults, but they always stuck by each other regardless. And even when they had that hiccup last season, I'm so glad that it did not ruin their friendship and they got through it. Their story was just beautiful, which is kind of why season 4 was the best season, because we saw that, you know, friendships, they do have issues. Friendships have issues. Even the most perfect friendships, there will always be an issue, but it always comes down to how you solve this issue and both of you guys meeting in the middle. And that's exactly what Issa and Molly showed us, and it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a great depiction of Black friendships now, and just good for them. And of course, I mean, I've like waited long enough to talk about this, but of course, gotta love the fact that Issa and Lawrence have ended up together. It looks like now in the last scene, she's finally engaged with Lawrence. She finally accepted the fact that he has a baby with Condola, and now they're just like living together and one big happy family. And honestly, I appreciate this ending. Yes, it would have been like smart for her to just leave both Nathan and Lawrence in the past and do her own thing, and it would have looked like a strong woman move. However, it wouldn't have been that nice, one, because this is a sitcom at the end of the day. Like, there has to be some happy ending. Okay, we can't just have a very messed up ending. It has to be a happy ending. And it would kind of make no sense if they went through all of this in these past 5 seasons just for her to be single and leave him behind. So I'm actually glad that Issa made Issa and Lawrence stick with each other. Yeah, when Nathan broke it off with Issa, I was very happy. And then after a few months later at Issa's birthday party, Nathan was not messaging her back, was not answering any of her messages, and it kind of just confirmed for me, like, okay, yeah, this guy, he ain't it. He's just not, he's a really bad communicator. Like, yeah, I'm glad that she dodged the bullet, to be honest. And honestly, in the last episode at the party, she didn't really fight Lawrence. Like, she could have been like, no, I don't want to be with you, blah blah blah. She didn't say any of that. She kind of stayed mute because she knew that she was not happy and wanted to be with Lawrence. I feel like, yes, Lawrence and Issa are very messy, but they mess everyone, they like ruin everyone else's lives because they aren't together. Like, when they're not together, they ruin a lot of people's lives. So I feel like they just need to stick with each other, and I'm glad that they finally did. It's funny that, like, even after everything they've been through, like Issa cheating on him, it kind of like made the relationship better, to be honest, because afterwards Lawrence, you know, he got himself together, got a job, got a good paying job at that. Issa, she got a good job as well. She left that stupid We Got Y'all job, and now she has her own company. Like, they're both doing so well. I guess all they really just needed was a break from each other, and sometimes that's all you need. I like that Issa ended up being with Lawrence despite the fact that Lawrence had a baby with Condola, because I know that Black Twitter were all kind of just like, no, if my significant other had a baby with another woman before we were even together, yeah, that's a messy situation. However, in this case, it's kind of hard, especially since Issa and Lawrence, you know, they had major history, 5 years of history to be exact. And on top of that, like, that is literally Issa's soulmate. Lawrence is Issa's soulmate. So I'm kind of glad that we get to see that it's okay to not have like the most perfect ideal situation, because at the end of the day, it's life. Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens. And technically, he wasn't with Issa at the time, so what are you gonna do? Stuff happens. However, I mean, that's not what I would want. But that being said, it's kind of like a realistic depiction, because stuff does happen, and everyone who's always like, oh, couldn't be me, actually, yeah, it could be you. It could be any one of us. And that's why I love Insecure, because they do real life depictions. But then also, it's like, in this case, Lawrence and Issa, they deserved each other. Like, they were meant to be together. I'm glad that the baby didn't, you know, stop Issa from pursuing Lawrence, because at first it definitely did, you know, when she had broke up with him in episode 1 of season 5. But then she started to realize, like, hey, I want to be happy, and in order for me to actually be happy, you have to be in my life. So I appreciate that. Also, I wish that we got to see more of Kelli's love life. Like, Kelli is pregnant. She's having a baby. That's insane. And I wish we saw more of that. It's annoying. Like, we just got introduced to this new guy and now she's pregnant. Like, and it's funny because in this episode, she was basically saying before she did not want kids, and then after she met this guy, now she's pregnant and her mindset changed. And I wish they explored this more as well. I wish they explored this topic more as well, because typically there are a lot of women who do change their mind when it comes to having kids once they meet the right man and meet a man that would make them want to have kids, because that always happens. Kind of gives a good message that you have every right to change your mind on something that you always said that you wouldn't do, because you know, life happens. It's always okay to change your mind, especially when it comes to having kids. And I wish they explored that more. Also, Tiffany, it seems like she finally moved to Denver, right? Denver. And she still just doesn't seem happy. And Tiffany is also a pretty good case. And I, once again, also wish they explored this storyline more, because clearly we see Tiffany and her husband, I forgot her husband's name, but you see that they have the typical happy relationship. Tiffany has like the ideal life. She has a good job, a great husband, supportive husband. She has a baby. She's married. Now they have a nice big house in Denver. Like, she has that typical life, but we're kind of seeing that Tiffany isn't necessarily that happy. It seems like she's kind of not happy or satisfied wherever she is. It's like, yes, she's moving on up in life. She's doing like the typical route to move up, but you're still seeing that she's not fulfilled. And I kind of wish they explored that more. Overall, this was a great finale, and I'm just really sad that the show's over and they need to have like either a spin-off. Okay, fine, no spin-off. I don't really want a spin-off, more so a movie. Like, you know, Sex and the City does. Like, they need a movie. And they need to release that on HBO Max. And yeah, because I'm not ready for this show to be over. I actually need to watch the documentary as well, because I heard that's on HBO. So I'm about to do that, because what else is there to do, because I don't have work this week. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please make sure you like my video and subscribe to your girl Brandy 4. Let me know. I just finished watching the show Love Life, so if you want a video on that, leave a comment below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next time.